In this video, I'm going to share 3 pro-level GarageBand for Mac tips. In the first, I'll show you how you can use a lesser-known synthesizer feature to create some interesting and exciting sounds. I'll show you how to customize GarageBand's user interface. And lastly, I'll show you how to quickly and easily make your GarageBand drum patterns sound amazing. While not as fully featured as the versions available in Logic Pro, the stripped-back down synthesizer instruments that we do have access to in GarageBand for Mac sound fantastic. And they have one hidden feature that you might not be aware of. The version of Alchemy we have in GarageBand, for example, lacks a lot of the customization options found in the full version present in Logic Pro. In fact, it more closely resembles the version of Alchemy that you'd find in GarageBand for iOS, with a similar interface and set of controls. Now, you can't access Alchemy directly in GarageBand for Mac. Instead, you need to load up a patch or preset from GarageBand's library on a software instrument track. You'll know you've landed on an Alchemy patch when you see the transform pad in your track's Smart Control window. Using the tabs at the top of the Smart Controls window, you can cycle through the Transform, Control, and EQ tabs, which all allow you to shape your synth's sounds. What we're interested in, though, is this small icon in the top right corner of the Alchemy Instruments window. Clicking this icon opens the arpeggiator menu, and you'll notice that you have loads of options to customize your arpeggiated sounds here. The note order menu allows you to adjust how the arpeggiated notes will be played. The rate menu lets you select from 22 different timing options for your arpeggiated instrument. And the octave range allows you to choose whether the notes you're playing will hit 1, 2, 3, or 4 octaves during the arpeggiator run. Below that, you can choose from several dozen presets that will change the sound of your arpeggiated software instrument dramatically. This arpeggiator feature is available in, I think, pretty much all of GarageBand's software instruments, not just the Alchemy synth. So you've got even more scope to use this thing to shape different instrument sounds. First off, new GarageBand users will likely be familiar with the help function, where you click on this question mark button to access situational help messages. You can actually right-click or long left-click on this button to choose whether these tips will appear in a resizable floating window or pop up at your mouse pointer's current position. You can right-click on the name of your current project at the top of the control bar to open the file browser. You can then find a different project, for example, and open it directly, or locate samples or MIDI files that you have saved to your Mac and drag them right into your GarageBand workspace. In GarageBand's LCD, you can do things like change the project tempo here, and change your project's key signature here. You can also change what info the LCD actually displays. Click on the chevron to open this menu, where you can have the LCD display beats and project. This is what it's set to by default. Beats and time, just beats, or just time. The time option will be particularly helpful for those who use GarageBand for podcasting. Finally, by right-clicking or holding left-click on the count-in button, you can change your count-in's length. That's how long you get from hitting the record button to when GarageBand begins recording. None begins recording as soon as you hit record. 1 bar gives you 1 bar before recording begins. And 2 bars, you guessed it, gives you 2 bars before recording begins. Okay, so first of all, you'll need to have created a drummer track and tweaked its pattern and fills, etc. to your liking. If you haven't got this far yet, I'll pop a link down in the description to a video where I walk you through how to set up a drummer track in GarageBand for Mac and how to get the most out of its features. Next, create a new MIDI software instrument track. Now select either the individual drummer region you want to edit, or click on the drummer track's track header to select all regions. Copy your selected regions. You can select copy from the edit menu in the toolbar if you like at the top of the screen, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Command and C. Select your newly created MIDI software instrument track and then paste, again either using the paste option in the toolbar or by using the keyboard shortcut Command and V. When you paste your drummer track into the new MIDI software instrument track, it will default to GarageBand's default piano sound. That obviously isn't what you want, so dive into GarageBand's library and you can match up the drum kit to the one used in the drummer track. Or if you want, you can go for a completely different drum kit, depending on how it sounds. Now that your drummer track is in software instrument form, you can separate the different parts of the drum kit and copy/paste them into software instrument tracks of their own. An easy way to do this is to select the software instrument track that you've pasted your drummer tracks into and open the editor window, either by clicking the wee pencil icon in the top left of GarageBand's screen or by using the keyboard shortcut E. You can select all of the MIDI notes in a row by clicking on the corresponding key at the left of the editor window, and again, you can copy them all by using Command and C on your typing keyboard or via the toolbar. Next, open a new software instrument track and paste your copied MIDI notes into that new track. Rinse and repeat for each part of your kit that you want to separate. Now that's done, you can apply things like compression, reverb, panning, and other effects to each part of the kit separately. Yes, it's definitely more time consuming than just working with GarageBand's default drummer track, but it does give you a lot more control over how your drum section will sound. Thanks so much for watching to the end. If you found this video helpful, give that like button a good hard slap. I really appreciate it, and it helps more people see this video. And if you want to check out even more lesser known GarageBand for Mac tips, watch this video next.